Hi everyone, it's Veronica Ortolini with Codebreaker Real Talk, and I have Celeste, Plantagenet, Chaparro, York, Valkyrie, Wolf, Mama, Child, the Most High God. I'm the Most High God. How are you, Mama?
I'm good. It's been a while. I'm happy to be back.
Good. I'm glad. So
Yeah.
I was telling you about Feng Shui and health. I got this book,
Mhm.
and it's Feng Shui and Health: The Anatomy of a Home by Nancy SantoPietro. And it's talking about the U-shaped floor plan here in the middle that has health, and we'll talk about your book in a little bit. Health, and on the back it would be fame, and it has like these octagon. Sorry, the thing won't let me show it. I'll send.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. So in each of
Yeah.
these spheres or corners, for example, the bathroom is fame, the dining room is wealth, family, kitchen is knowledge. When when you go in, that's your career, like when you walk in to your house. In the middle is health, and then the other side is helpful people in the living room, children, and then the guest room is relationships. So it kind of shows you how to hold on one moment, sorry guys.
No, you're good. I'm gonna
It shows you
use the block.
what each aspect is important, what in our life. And so the doorway would be the mouth of the house, and the eyes would be the windows. And it was saying just very specific things that I'm really glad I have this book now. And I've been watching the videos because I'm moving. Celeste, thank you for helping me
Yay.
by U-Haul. Thank you.
Ah.
And
Did you
you,
cash it out? You did cash out the money.
huh?
Oh, I know. I got my job. I'm so happy. Yeah. They were like, yes, we start on Monday, so we're happy to have you on board. And then they pay for schooling, so they're gonna pay like tuition if I want to go into like the medical field and stuff. So
Yeah.
maybe I might do that, and then maybe I could do aerospace another time or something like that. But just try to get some schooling under my belt and trying to get my high school diploma right now. Yeah, dude. So I only have to do the credits that I need for high school, like what I didn't finish. So I'm glad I don't have to do like the GED where they make you do a 6-week course, and this one is gonna be so much quicker. So I'm gonna get my high school diploma.
And then go to MIT, right?
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm gonna run that place though.
Aerospace engineering. Heck yeah, we'll make our own
Aerospace company.
ships and get the F out of here.
Dude, that's why I'm going there. We could make us our ships and go home.
Go
Just trying
home,
to
get
get
off
everybody out of here.
the planet. I don't know why y'all want to come and back and reincarnate. I'm like, I'm not coming. And I've already programmed my subconscious when I'm ready to leave Earth, whenever I'm ready to leave Earth, I'm telling my subconscious and my consciousness and my heart, we're not coming back.
We're not coming back.
I'm not coming back. You guys can decide at the last minute, that's fine. Or, you guys can make up your mind now, that's fine. But me, no. Nope.
No,
And
I'm good. I'm ready to go home.
I've been having a lot of memories of when I came in as a shooting star, that they got me when I was a mermaid, and I've done videos on that. Oh, and then I hadn't seen the Little Mermaid movie, which I
The new
saw
one.
last night, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So now they have the melanin dominant with the red hair mixture. They're mixing, they've already mixed the bloodlines, the redhead with the melanin
Mhm.
dominant. They've already done that years and years ago. That I mean, I have the moral line that comes from Dominican Republic that I've
Mhm.
talked about many times. But now they're like integrating, they're planning on, they're actually, to me, what I got was that they're planning on the new human that's coming, and that's
Mhm.
actually pretty much being born right now. And that's with the grand experiment of the baby Jabberwocky that I talk about. And what I told you earlier, Celeste, that I really want to talk about is the V word.
Mhm.
Everybody's infected with the metaverse. meta versus universo. It's like the meta, the goal is to put people in this verse of multiverso, of the whole freaking universe, of the whole multiverse, of the metaverse. And how are they doing that? They're doing it by making us like stuff on the phone all the time, by clicking on it. I had dreams before the metaverse ever came. I had dreams of me being inside my phone and looking up and just looking up and sending emails, or being inside my Facebook and liking something. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Well, now I know what's going on. Everybody's infected. Everybody.
Yep.
It's like every tentacle we got, I got 3 IGs, right? 2 Facebooks, Twitter, 2 social. It's too much. So I just 2 days ago I stopped being I even stopped my group because it was just too much. I'm too sensitive, and especially with the moon energies. I wanted you to talk about the book. I know we're going to talk about the book, and we were going to talk about that in the beginning, but you know what? Let's talk about the moon and that thing that you sent, because I totally felt the word schizophrenic, because I was hearing too many voices in the full moon. I mean, I'm already a psychic medium. I was born this way, obviously. We come in like that. But it was just on the full moon, this full June full moon was the worst ever that I've had. I can feel the energies all around me, inside me, in my head, even the sun. We were talking about the other day how the sun, I felt like I was gonna faint. Like, what the heck is going on? They're ramping up the frequencies,
They are, dude, because like what, I've been in Arizona since 2007, and yeah, it's freaking hot out here, but this is like the first year where I feel like, yeah, it's just, it drains the hell out of you. Like the first 30 seconds you're outside and you're just like, man, I need to get in some air conditioning or at least under some shade. But even then you're still feeling it. Like it's not as bad, but it's still feels like it's stuck in the shit, the like the energy out of you. And
Yeah.
because they were, they're saying like it's going to be the hottest summer like in 100 years or something like that. And it's just like how do they know that? Oh, because they're ramping it up.
They're bringing in the glass. They're bringing it closer to Earth. It's like they want to burn us like little ants. Like when when I was a kid, I used to do ants
or with your glasses, you'd be like,
yeah, but
we don't do anymore.
Yeah, you told me about this video. Well, I really haven't seen it, but I have taken many pictures many times of these beings that come out from the moon. And I've shared it before, and people are like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, these are souls. I see the souls." And like, what's going on?
Yeah,
and go ahead.
Yeah, like once we're talking about it, fast forward like when the sky watching one, and people will see when the guy is zoomed in on the moon, like, yeah, like I said, it looks like white mist. And I'm like, those are probably the souls. And it looks like they're getting sucked into the dark craters. And then that's when he sees the upside down triangle, and he's just like, what the fuck? And then you see him walking to the moon like he's all worshiping it. And
I've had visions and dreams of being on the moon, and I could see the craters. They're huge craters. I was walking on the moon with, my daughter. This was last year, and I'm like, I did a short video on it. What am I doing on the moon? And they had some buildings that were broken down. The construction was no more. It's like if civilization had been there. But the crates, I didn't want to go under there. It was just a very ugly, eerie feeling. And I'm like, what am I doing here on the moon? And I know, I've been on the moon before, but and Mars and all these other things. But there's channels out there that'll make fun of us. That'll say, how do you know you're on the moon or Mars or Uranus, And I'm like, I'm just here to talk to the people who just want to listen to what's going on with us. And maybe maybe this broadcast can help people, that we're not crazy. Like I said, this past moon energy, I felt like I was going crazy. I didn't want to go outside. I have not worked out. Yeah, I haven't worked out for a month. I don't want to be around people right now. I was thinking about just exiting all social media, but I'll just leave it there. and I'll probably check on it in 30 days or something, but people know what my email is, and you know, some of you guys have my phone number, you guys can call me. But it's too much, and this is the V word, what we're infected with. I'm having to detox myself from it because I'm a sensitive, and not like, oh, you're a crybaby sensitive. No, it's too much. You know, I don't
But
want to
it's
be
meant to be. That's why people are going fucking nuts, or they're, they're just the way that they are. It's just like they're, they probably don't know that either they're, super soldiers or just a star seed or something, and they get really affected by what they're seeing, and it's just like they're either get really mad or really sad or hypersexual or, just crying for no reason. And it's just like they're doing it on purpose. Zuckerberg is part of this whole agenda. I mean, of course, everyone knows that, but he was chosen to ramp up, the emotions through social media. That's why I got to get rid of all my socials. Like, that's why people are like, you don't have an Instagram or TikTok? And I'm like, nope, I don't need it. Like, what for? I'm not missing out on anything. If anything, it's just getting worse on social media now. And it's just like,
They're also
you know,
infected with the whole Trump and Biden bullshit. It's
yeah, the whole two party illusion. That's all it is.
there's more
It's just an
than two
illusion.
parties. And
Yeah.
all puppets. Nobody really cares. They're saying, "Oh, Trump cares about the children." Now this new movie, Freedom, is coming out. That movie, I'm not going to be able to watch it because just hearing about it triggered the F out of me, because I am one of the targeted individuals, as I'm sure you are, that was taken advantage as a child and taken at, very as a baby. So, and done all these rituals too. And I have memories, and it's like, no, I don't even want to go there. And they're saying, oh, Trump really cares for the children, and he's here to, and I'm like, really, if he were really to care for the children, why did he say yes to the V word, to the baby Jabberwocky? Really? Oh, because he was paid by Pfizer, whoever the F he was paid for, to
Right.
make sure it gets out, hey, your kids, or you know what I'm saying? So to me, and this
His
is
thing was just like, but it's your choice though. I'm not gonna be like Biden and
right,
say you have to get it. It's like it is a choice. And it's just like, but yeah, you're still trying to get people to get it though.
right.
Because he was saying, oh, me and my family are vaccinated and shit. Or yeah, the B word, we're all jabbed.
Don't say the V word. This is for what they call that, the Media Fair Act, for educational purposes only. Don't take down my video. This is just us ranting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, these
trying
are just our
to,
opinions and just yeah. We're
yeah,
not saying it's all fact, do your own research.
yeah. So
Like if people like want to really take a look at this video,
yeah.
I do have to say a disclaimer. For the if you do watch it, the real sleep segment, don't watch it, listen to it, like, or lower the volume, but don't look at it because it is a hypnotizing
Yeah,
like experiment. It is
yeah,
for someone, but I don't want somebody to get freaking, like
yeah.
hypnotizing that we're trying to do something to them. And it's like, every time I watch this, I can't look at it or I look away, or I kind of do this with my hand and I'm like, you kind of peek through, but yeah, don't participate in the experiment. It's just,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
really creepy though.
A lot of us were taken to the moon stations, also Fort Bliss. I was taken to Fort Bliss and Fort Huachuca. There are sleep rooms in there. This is what they do to us. So here we go. The beginning, I'm probably gonna have to fast forward. Here we go. Can you hear it?
Oh no, oh yeah, I can a little bit. I already watched this like 3 times.
They're saying something about America for people to get rid of off themselves, which I don't agree with.
No, not at all.
Brainchild of a man by the name of Chris Straub. Back in August of 2018, I uploaded a video titled, What is Local 58? Back at that point in time, there were just 5 videos in the series catalog, and I attempted, to the best of my ability, to deduce and construct both a logical timeline and a set of theories that could have explained what this anthology was trying to convey. Since then, you guys have been vocal.
So basically, they're talking about this technology that they have in the moon, and I've talked about it before. Even Jim Mars talks about it, but here we have a guy that made a video on it. And should I forward it a little bit more?
Yeah, to the first one called Contingency.
That one?
Oh no, that's the sky watching one. That's the one where the about the moon. Unless you want to show that. Oh, that's the real sleep. That's the weird experiments and shit.
Okay, I'll just do this and then I'll forward it a little bit
Let's
more.
give it one more run. Tonight,
Oh yeah, that's right there.
manipulative television, better known
Yeah,
as Local 58.
Okay, it's fine.
it reminds me of when I was a kid and I was watching TV and the whole channel would go off and I'm still looking at it like zombified.
Oh, dude, like little girl from Poltergeist or something.
Mhm.
On Monday, October 28th of 2015, a web cartoonist and online creator by the name of Chris Straub would give birth to a web series by the name of Local 58. Taking place in Mason County, West Virginia, the same region as his other works, Brood Hollow, Candle Cove, and Idjor Falls, Straub has constructed an extremely complex narrative that appears to center on themes surrounding mass suicide, imminent danger,
Yeah,
and hypnosis.
Yeah, just don't look
I
at
will
that.
forward it a little bit before I forget. Last night, I got I left, my ear started ringing on the left side. And I heard this man tell me, my father has been studying the moon, he said. And he said, June, the one day in June was the worst day ever this year. He told me, and then it snapped out and I'm like, who are you? What do you want? Who's your father? And then
Mhm.
it was like, I heard him say, it's for me to know and you to find out. I'm like, mother effer, why are you guys sending me these signals? You know what I'm saying? Wait, should I forward it a little more?
Yeah.
The following footage will contain a full reanalyzation of various network broadcasts that have occurred on our partner station, Local 58.
Right. So yeah, this is the first one.
Now it doesn't want to forward. What is going on? It doesn't want to go. It's stuck. Okay, come on. Now it's play. Please play. Step off my channel, guys. I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, that's what they do. They want people to know this
Oh my God.
information.
Frozen. I'm pushing play. Nada. Step off my channel. May I have my channel back? I deserve to show this to the public. Remember, you guys have to tell everybody what's going on.
Mhm.
Oh
See,
my,
they want to tell. They don't want others talking about it. Well, I can talk about it since I have my notes right here
yeah.
until it plays. So this was in the late 1960s or early
Oh,
70s.
sorry.
Reason.
It went.
So, okay, go.
As we can see, the signature of US President Lyndon B. Johnson appears at the end of the message. If we can recall, his presidency took place between 1963 and 1969. But if we back up and observe the opening title card, we'll notice that the background image contains an astronaut from the Apollo 11 mission. Doing further research on that photo itself reveals that it was taken on August 1st of 1971, effectively cementing the fact that my initial time frame was entirely incorrect. Anyway, after this message, various screens showing flowers, skylines, and American flags are shown, with the following text overlaid onto them. Act immediately. Honor liberty by taking the final and greatest liberty of all. It's a privilege to be called to action. You take America with you. Each will be remembered. Use the method most available to
Oh my goodness.
you at this time.
Okay, so they're pretty much telling people to off themselves. I'm frozen.
Your courage
Yeah.
will inspire others. There is
Okay, I'm not doing anything. I will show this.
Yeah, they're messing with your channel.
Fuck you guys.
nothing to fear.
But in the end,
Time has come.
this ends up being a hoax. You know, like I said, they're just trying to
Right.
control the masses.
Well, let's see if I can further it over here. See, I'm putting the line there.
Mhm.
Nothing. All right, guys, I'm just gonna have to share this and then you guys are gonna have to see if you want to look at it. Cause they're fucking with me. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop the share. And see if it goes here.
Mhm.
Play.
Yeah, see, place muzzle, hole of gun upward to the roof of mouth. So they're telling people how to off themselves.
Okay, push play. Let's see if it works.
Access to loaded firearms.
Did it do that to you? Did it keep stopping?
Thank you. No, I don't know if maybe it's because I mean, it shouldn't matter even if you're sharing. It shouldn't do that because yeah, you're able just to watch it when you watch it. It doesn't do that. I don't know if maybe it's just because you're sharing on Zoom and it's just kind of lagging, but
And now it's
I can
frozen.
see the loom, yeah. But anyways, yeah, so they're just saying, everyone needs to go. They call it the 3 Fs: front lawn, face up, feet together.
I'll just stop sharing. It's still
Yeah.
going round in circles.
Yeah.
You hear me?
I'm
Okay?
like, I'm trying to move it. You're frozen, but I can kind of hear you.
Weather Service, emergency broadcast.
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
And now I'm not even sharing and it's still playing. Do you see screen
Yeah.
share? Do you see screen share? They're fucking with me.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah,
assholes.
they are. So yeah, these a-holes, they won't let you share, but we're gonna keep talking about it. So they're pretty much telling people, they put up this broadcast that America has been taken over by our enemies and, not to surrender to them. So the only thing to do is to take this, put it at the roof of your mouth. Well, they first say to do it first to your children and your pets because they're the most innocent ones. Yeah. I can't hear you.
I do not consent. That must have been what my mother saw on TV that one day when I walked in from school and she was actually gonna do that to all of my sisters and herself. When I walked in from school, she was crying watching this thing on TV. And I'm like, what the? Now it
Does
makes
the timeline match? Because was this like in the 60s, 70s or whatever? Okay, then she probably saw it.
70s.
Okay, yeah, then she probably saw that shit. And so they're saying take out your children and your pets, and then yeah, you go to your front lawn, you do it, and then you face up because you're laying down face up, and then your feet together like as if you're, like when you're in a yeah.
That's fucked up.
And then that they said that they were gonna send police to make sure that nobody resisted. Everybody had to do this.
Oh,
Everyone and that.
I did not consent to that bullshit. That is horrible. See, that's what, when you hear the tones, that's why, oh gosh. So a long time ago, years ago, I talked about this friend of mine that he worked for DARPA. And he had told me, stop hearing the commercials on Pandora and TV. And I stopped watching TV like it's gonna be 5 years now this June. Actually, it was 5 years in June. And I stopped hearing any commercial, even that stupid K through 12 stupid commercial that they're putting out right now.
Yeah.
They're trying to indoctrinate the children by having everybody be at home. Those tones deliver a message. Okay. So I tell people, get out of if you're listening to Pandora, you're at the gym, working out, whatever, or just listening to music at your house or listening to a YouTube video, pause the freaking thing, get out of the app or forward, put down the volume on YouTube and forward the thing until, don't even look at it. Because even the pop-ups, this whole thing of memes, the Facebook, the metaverse, they're trying to teach quote unquote people stuff by memes now. What is behind those Illuminati signs? What is behind the tones? Like when they put the eerie tones of the minor E chords of, and then they show a swirl or black and white tile or something. You guys, I'm getting a headache right now. I don't want to talk about that video anymore.
Okay.
But
I mean, if they want, yeah, they can always look it up if they want to.
yeah.
They want to see. So, but yeah, it's really dark. I'm just looking to let people know it's very dark, but the information is vital because people need to be aware at least what's going on. So, because yeah, it's ultimate control. That's what I feel like the whole V is about. They're gonna try to implement all this shit. But just one last thing about that video. At the end, they say it's a hoax. So it's just kind of like, War of the Worlds or whatever, when they had the broadcast back in the day and people really thought there was an alien invasion happening. And so, people were taking out their families. And they're like, if you just would have clicked to the next station over, you would have heard everything's fine. But that's what they were kind of trying to do here. And then they were going to see who was going to do it. Who knows who did. Yeah, hypnotizing people and stuff. But yeah, what's the channel called? No, forget his name. But anyways, it's called Local 58, the news channel that manipulates you or something like that. But if you want to take a look at it, but yeah, but be careful when you're watching it. Don't look at the real sleep one. Don't
Save yourself or use Palo Santo or Copal after. I'm gonna use. Let me get my Palo Santo. But these energies, they're sending them from the moon too, and people say, oh, I have tinnitus, I have, blah blah blah. No, they're sending freaking, messages to you. And I thought I was going nuts, schizophrenic, just a few days ago with the full moon. Like I said, it was the worst one. And you say that when you when there's a full moon, people around you act up, right?
Yeah, I don't get affected by the moon, but this is the first time actually witnessing it because I was, I work in customer service. I work at a little restaurant, and man, people just, especially this, like her husband was normal, but her, like, she was just freaking out because she wanted one of the young coconuts to drink out of. We were out. I didn't know. I told her, and she starts getting all like, what? Why? And I was just like, they just never told us that we ran out. Like, is that really a big deal? And her husband's just across from her, like, oh my gosh, like, really? Is she really getting like neurotic over just that? And I'm like, I can just offer you something else or give you back your money instead of just be like, oh man, all right, well, can I get my money back or can I get something else? And just boom, go on with your night. And so, she gets something else. She gets her food. She starts freaking out again because she wanted the teriyaki chicken plate with the sauce on the side, even though I'm like, there's the self-serve station right there. You could just do that. And no, she needs it on the side. They got to put it on the side for her. And her husband again is just like, oh my gosh. So she gets her food, and so they chop up the chicken, for the teriyaki plate. And then her husband got the same chicken plate, but the difference was his was just like whole chicken, like pieces of chicken. And she's like, this isn't what I wanted. I wanted exactly what my husband got. And I was just like, it's the same damn chicken. It's just this one's cut up and the other one is all whole.
No,
and she's flipping
in California. It's fake now. One of my
friends
was telling me that they have now the fake chicken in California. I'm like, don't eat it. Don't eat it.
I wouldn't doubt because this company, it's started out in Cali and then now it moved over here. I mean, it's still in Cali, but there's so it started off in Cali. That's when I first had it. It was back in Cali in 2008. And then I don't know when they finally started bringing them to Arizona, but it was a while back. You have something on your forehead. I don't know if you meant to put a mark right here. Oh, okay.
I put Palo Santo.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you did that by accident. So yeah, she's flipping out because the chicken was cut up and she wanted it whole like her husband's, and her husband's just eating his food. He's just like, I just gotta ignore her. And she's freaking out, dude. And so, I told the cook, I'm like, she didn't want this because the chicken's cut up, and he got pissed. He just like threw it in the trash. So food went to waste. And I was just like, really? You couldn't just let one of us have it or at least have it at a discount, So he throws it away and he just gives her the whole chicken, the chicken exactly how her husband got the plate. And I'm just like, and yeah, just that whole night, dude, people were just really weird, and it was just like I've never really witnessed that type of like neuroticism. And then people were like, "Oh, it's the full moon," and then when you, because we were able to see it from outside the windows, and it was freaking huge and orange, and I was just like, "Dude, something about that don't look right. Something about that don't look right." And everyone's like, "Oh, it's so cool." And I'm like, "No, it's not. There's
Like, don't
there's
look
some
at it. They're gonna use you. They're gonna take your soul.
yeah." As soon as I looked at it, I looked right away. I looked away, and I'm like, "Nope, I don't want to look at that. Like that's just not. I don't consent to that shit." And it's just, and even the people I was working with were getting all affected by it. And I was just like, dude, I just can't wait for this night to be over. And I think it was also that night, that same night, like the drawer was short. So they were like getting on us like we were stealing. I'm like, why would I need to steal $5? Come on. There's cameras everywhere anyways. Why do I need to steal $5 fucking dollars?
Yeah.
And
And
so
being a place there, we'll call it a dead, a fast food chain, right? Um, they are the most targeted. I mean, like the word M, McDonald, M stands for 13, M stands for reincarnation, dead food. And so a lot of those chains, if you notice, there's gonna be a 5G tower around there somewhere. And they're in the ley lines. Like we were talking
not
about.
only that, we're close to the Air Force Base also. It's really close to the Air Force Base. We get Air Force people coming in.
I'm gonna remember I read this to you yesterday. I'm just gonna read one little part. And to plead my case that I need to move, which I am. It says what causes
And I am too.
yeah. What causes depression? Things that cause depression. It says assess your view. It says chapter 1, page 27, proximity to buildings, businesses, or places of worship. I got a church right there, a bar right here, and a jail over here, and two Momac over here where they have the observatory for the U of A. So it's like, I'm moving.
It's time to go.
Too much low
Time to go.
vibration.
Because if you're gonna move somewhere, move where there's nature at least. Like you can look at a mountain, there's trees, like, or it's at least, even if it's a manufactured, like they try to make it look like wilderness, as long as it looks nice. And you can look out your window. When I was living in Flagstaff, I loved looking out my window because I had the pine trees. As soon as I walked outside, I had the forest, and it was just like, even though it was a pretty bad living situation, but I'm like, dude, at least I have this. And then of course I had to move away. So now it's just like I have these neighbors, the lady that yells at her dog all the time, or her husband, and you're just, that energy comes over here because it's just right there. Like the fence, it's like the fence is just right there. These people right here too. They're out here smoking weed, and it's just like it's time for me to go, man.
Around here every night, and it smells like that skunk all night long. And it's like my kids say, "Mom, you live in the ghetto," and I'm like, "Well, that's all I could afford when I came here, but now I'm gonna move. I'm moving.
I'm out of here." Yeah, same for me, man. I'm out of here.
I'm grateful
I at least want
to Power Lady because she helped me with the rules of, because she was in housing before, and after her retirement. So I'm thankful to you guys, all of you guys that are gonna help me and that have been helping me. Thank you. So I'm grateful that you're gonna be out of there too, Celeste. You're gonna have a new job. So you're
yeah. Thank God. I mean, yeah, I'm thankful. I need to get out of this negative family home situation. It's just, they're giving into the Draco gray reptilian energy, and it's just like I don't consent to that, and like I gotta get out. Like I need to be in a peaceful spot and just, be able to come home and just be like, this is my home. Like this is just a temporary living situation for me. So I don't call this place my home, even though they are my family, but they're not really my family.
right.
So it's like it's time to go, man.
The bloodline that they chose to have mate with us, like, for example, my ex is reptilian, more so it's like it's the angels versus the reptilians, but then on my mom's side there's the dragon, so and then the mermaid. So it's like it's a constant war within our families. And but anyway, when you were telling me about that book, I was telling you about some memories of being on a submarine. So can you talk about how, because it was so interesting what you told me about that book. I can't wait to get it.
Listen, a
Yeah.
great ship of knowledge.
Yes.
So I found this at the library because they sell books there. And when I saw it, like it's still brand new. So it was like half off. So I had to go to the Circle K to get money out. So I'm like, dude, I have to get this book. Like, as soon as I read the back of it, because it says, if you believe in the simulation theory that our universe is a hologram of virtual reality, then the sci-fi adventure is for you. In the future, people no longer read books to learn about the past. Instead, they experience history by virtually living through the historic events like they were actually there when they played out. But the future is here, and we are learning Earth's deathly history. So, in this book, it was World War III. This is like after World War III, they had been traveling for 1,000 years, and they reached the new Earth. And they say it's bigger and it's got 4 moons. And so they're traveling in these ships. One is like a gigantic hammerhead shark. I'll show the pictures. Hopefully they can see. So it's a hammerhead shark with the two sharks, and then in the back it's the mother whale, and so dolphins and more sharks. So they're protecting the ship because it's the 144,000 children that are going to repopulate and all that. So it's a doctor. His name's Dr. Dieter, and so he's recording, and he's also narrating as he's watching as they're finally approaching the new Earth. So it looks like a gigantic aquarium, and so it's like gold, like, and then it splits in the middle, and so he sees like the whole armada come out, and he's just talking about how beautiful it is and how wonderful it is and how they just have this hope for humanity. Like, so all these children, because they're like, they call them children, but they're like the ages between like 18 and 19. Like they're very young, and they're in these pods. They were pretty much made in the pods, and they grew. And so yeah, so they're gonna repopulate this new Earth. And so as they're in their dream stasis, they call them the dreamers. So they're in a dream stasis, and so they think they're living on Earth like this time, And so they're, they have their families, their jobs or whatever. And so it circles around a few people, 6 Navy SEALs, and like mainly the story is about around them, and then a secret agent. And so what happened? So it's like it's China and it's Russia and it's the Middle East. They have these nuclear missiles. They're about to attack the U.S. They're about to, go with World War III. So they send out an MP3 and everything. So they take everything out. Then they start sending out the nuclear missiles, like hitting all the major cities and stuff like that. So of course America retaliates, and so it's all just bombs, and it's just like there's nothing anyone can do. And so because of the toxic fallout, then people start getting sick, they have cancer, their bodies are literally like falling apart. There's a nuclear winter, so people are starving, people are cold, and it's just, it just goes through like what the people are experiencing. But throughout the book, the doctor will stop space and time. And so whatever they're doing, they'll stop, but they can still like hear, smell. The only thing they can't do is talk. And so he's talking to them. He's like, okay, I'm just letting you know that all this is not real, what you're experiencing. You might think this is the real world, but it's just, this is you learning Earth's deathly history. So we don't go through this again. So we can live in harmony and in unison, because we have another chance. We found this new Earth. We can't do this again. We can't not go through this again. And so they're just like, they're scared because they think they're either dying, or they think just something's going on, or they're being abducted or whatever. So he just lets them know, like, your real body is on this ship. You're safe, you're young, you're not dying, but you'll know more as the time comes when we wake you up. And then he disappears, and everyone goes back to normal. Life goes back to normal. And they're kind of like, they ask the people around them, did you see that? Did you see this guy? And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, maybe you're going crazy. And so they just kind of brush it off. And then years go by, going through their life again. And then again, it happens as like people, these chosen people are like at death's door. And so they're like, all right, we're about to wake you up. And we're about, they're being transparent with them. Like, they're letting them know, like, you're going to go through shock. The people that you thought were your family and had died never really died, because they weren't real to begin with. So they're just again freaking out, but he just gives them a whole like narration from the beginning, like, these evil powers that wanted to destroy America, pretty much destroy the world, because this guy, his name was like Muhammad or something, and he becomes pretty much the king of the world because he supplied them with all the nuclear missiles and just the submarines to like get through, like, the military security and stuff. And he does, of course, they don't care even if they die. They just don't want, like, they're just so full of hatred and their ideology. So they don't care if they destroy the world and all its nature and all its beauty. And, instead of like working together, they're just like, if we can't have this, you can't either type mentality. So the only people that are witnessing the Earth pretty much dying were these people up in space, because they were in a space station, and they're just so hopeless. They're just like, we're stuck up here. They're like, there's no point in going back down. So they just decide to like just take off more into space, and they're just like, they already ate all the rations and everything, so they're all like pretty much starving to death. And they're like, well, at least we're the first humans to go this far or something like that. And then of course the doctor shows up again and it's like, yep, this isn't real, just letting you guys are going to wake up soon. I think they were his colleagues. And so finally they start waking up, first all the doctors to help, then the kids that they're going to start waking up. So it's like 1,000 at a time until they reach the 144. And so yeah, they're going through the shock, and they're just like, no, because they still think they still thought the reality was still happening, because as they're waking up, they're still kind of choking and coughing as if they're still breathing and all that stuff. And they're like, no, I'm dying. You guys are just this hallucination. I'm about to die right now.
That's what
My family's
that's
dead.
what I'm remote viewing, that's how it is when we leave Earth. You wake
Mhm.
up and it's like, fuck, it was all a dream. It's not real. Like,
It was
where's
all a nightmare.
Dad? Where are you? Where are you, Dad? Where are you, Nana? Where are you, Tata? They're
Yeah.
still here. Where are you, Max? They're still here. It's just that they're above the dome.
Yeah, they're already home. They're just waiting for us to wake up finally.
Yeah.
Like wake up. We're halfway there. Like we're like, you're just waking up from the dream, but until you're fully awake, you're up, you're standing, you're seeing the sun, like you're awake. So yeah, and they go through realizing, well, this is really like, they just they kept telling him, you just had to see all this because we don't want this to happen again. Yes, it was terrible and it was such an ugly experience. And so because I was even asking the questions, I'm like, but if all that happened, like how were they able to still build these ships and have all this technology? Well, they never mentioned it in the book because there's going to be a volume 2, so I don't know when the guy's going to come out with the second part. So they're going through like their orientation and stuff, and they go to like the cosmic station and talking about the great ship of technology. So they start learning the technology on the ship. Um, they're gonna have they call it the Festival of Life, like when they finally touch down on the new Earth, and they have this, Jubilee celebration. Like we're gonna do it right time. We're not gonna like, one kid though, they had to terminate him while he was still in the pod. Like it starts like going where like, because I guess he's had because you had 3 chances in the virtual world to prove yourself that you can be a good person to then live on this planet. So I guess the kid struck out 3 times. So as the pod was opening, then it bolted back. And so there's the AI system. She's kind of like a god type deal. Her name's Serena. So she had to kill him. So they used dark nano fluid to terminate the kid. So it came in and it ate him up, and then it just, and
Like
so
that.
they were just like, all right, never mind.
Yeah.
Kind of like Black Goo, but yeah, they used it to just have to take out this kid because they're like, yeah, he's corrupted. We can't have him corrupting the rest. So it ends, I think. So yeah, so they're like touring the ships and stuff, and it's like else, all the plants and trees and stuff that they want to take to the new Earth. So they want to teach all these kids the technology so they know how to plant the trees and the flowers and everything else, how to take care of the animals to help them acclimate and all that stuff. And I feel like this book was written pretty recent because one of the kids or whatever.
You know, we've already been here. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, we came from Atlantis or whatever," but we came way before that. And we've planted, you know, we planted the trees. I was here before the animals. I have memories of being here before the animals and plants, and it's that book is wow.
Yeah, because the reason why he wrote this book, he's not even an author or a novelist or anything. Like he was just like your average, worker type guy, But he said it happened in a dream and it scared the hell out of him, and the dream just wouldn't leave him what he saw. Because at first he thought it was something like malevolent, when he saw the gigantic hammerhead shark ship, and something like when he was asleep, like it forced him to look. Because at first it was just black, and then that's when he starts to see the big aquarium and like the gold and all that. And it tells them like people need to know about this because either before World War III does happen, or if it does happen, like we know what to do, or at least we already, so it's just like I was like, damn, this is just crazy how like this book was just there waiting. Like nobody
Yeah.
even touched it because it's still brand spanky new. Like it's
Yeah.
like now the only
It was for
decreases
you.
are for me reading it.
Mira,
Yeah,
this was new too, and I got it for $2.99 at Goodwill, and it's brand new, dude. $2.99. This huge
yeah,
book. Books
yeah. It was
cost.
$4, but it was half off. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There was another one, and I wanted to get for you. Hopefully, it's still there. It was called "The Girl Who Hears Dragons."
What
And
is
once
it?
I saw that, I thought about you, the girl who hears dragons. And I
Oh,
thought of you. She was a blonde girl too, and I was just like, oh, I need to get that book for Veronica.
okay. Thank
So
you.
I'm gonna hopefully I'll be able to grab that soon. But
Thank
yeah, so
you. I just
people want
noticed.
to like look up. Yeah, people want to look up the book. It's called "The Great Ship of Knowledge: Learning Earth's Deathly History" by William Bailey.
And there are ships, they call them UAPs, instead of UFOs, they call them UA something Ps or something for under the ground, under the water. And me being able to communicate with dolphins, the dolphins are actually taking care of the tectonic plates here under the ocean because of HARP and CERN, all the damage that they have done. The dolphins and the blue beluga whales and the sharks, they're here to pretty much ground Earth, if you can believe that. And there's this other lady that talked about Feng Shui. I think her name is Karen or Christy, and she says that, oh, well, Earth is shaped like a square, she says. I'm like, okay. Well, now you said aquarium. Yeah, makes sense. It's not circle, it's not flat. Some people say that it's like, I've seen it kind of be like a mantis ship. A mantis ship is like an egg, kind of, and it comes to like a point, like a drop of water, like a teardrop.
Okay.
That's how I see Earth myself. But
Oh, okay.
and I also see it like being here, like this, right? And it's like a concave where there's the glass here and the glass down there. So we are
Oh.
actually, even Max Spears would talk about how it was like a fishbowl. And if you hold the fishbowl down, right? If you hold it upside down, it's like somebody's trying to keep holding us like with an iron fist. We'll say iron fist just to say it. Because USA always talks about Russia, but we know Russia is highly advanced, more so sometimes than the US in technology. And if you hold, even Mexico, I went to the dentist like last year, forget about it. AI everything. So you hold a bowl and it's like you gotta flip it upside down, Oh, the battery is going. Let me hook it up. Oh, good. I'm glad I made sure. So my friend Michael, who's also a friend of my friend Glenn Roos in South Africa, sent me this yesterday or 2 days ago, and I told him I was going to share it. This is an Alamea Analema, solar Analema. It's like almanac, you can say, kind of. So it goes through the June If you look at the mark up there, he said, look at the mark up there where June is, right? We have the clock that's slow, we have the clock that's fast, and a person online, Douglas Dietrich, a year ago had said that the reason why we have time changes because we're still at war with Germany. That's what he said. I don't know. But here, this is something different that we're talking about. If you look at the top of June, this is the screenshot that he sent. Here's the equator, the sun line, April, May, June, and it goes around, right? Like an eternity thing. And he sent this. He said, this is the sun's analemma. Notice the fish shape above the equator. I think of Jonah inside the fish for days, which is the June solstice, where the Earth's tilt is in equilibrium for 3 days before moving back to the other way. This is about the time that the Titan, Titan, incident happened. So Jonah, which actually means peace inside a fish, could actually be a Masonic parable for Saturnella or something. Always to do with Saturn, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Like
there
the
it
cube
is
worship,
again.
all that shit.
So, let me see if I can find that movie. It's called, you were saying that you saw a movie, that you saw a video with Jessica and Peter
Oh, it
about,
was no, it wasn't Peter. It was a kid, like
oh,
Eagle Son, I believe is his name. And so they were talking about MK anime, because so I talk about how the anime characters would come to him and they would try to screw around with him or try to or take over his life. Well, he was talking about Sailor Moon, how she came to him and said she was going to destroy him because he's speaking out against anime. And so what we were talking about previous, the video that we had to stop because it was starting to make you feel ill. But just really quick about it, because there's a segment on that local 58 channel is the weather service, and it was alerting people not to go outside because it's like a meteorological event happening, and people shouldn't be outside looking outside with the naked eye, avoiding mirrors and all that crap. And then it gets hijacked, and then it says go outside right now, and then it said shit like it's in the light, blah blah blah. I don't want to read that, but and then it came to me, that video with Jessica and the kid Eagleson, because when he's talking about Sailor Moon, and then for those who have watched Sailor Moon and have actually gotten pretty deep into it, because her boyfriend Darian, he's his alter ego is called Tuxedo Mask. Well, he has another one called Moonlight Knight, like a knight in shining armor. And instead being dressed in all black, now he's dressed in all white, but like an Arabian person, like all white. And then he, when he's Tuxedo Mask, he wears the mask. But then when he's Moonlight Knight, he has a veil covering his face. And so, and then in Sailor Moon, they're the Moon princess and prince, and they're supposedly protecting everybody's dreams and all this stuff. So like, because how it said in the weather service thing, like it's in the light, Moonlight Night or some shit like that. And then that just popped in my head, and then the whole anime thing, and I'm just like, I wonder if any of that connects. Like anime, especially Sailor Moon, since it's got to do with all the planets, because all the Sailor Scouts are princesses from like Mars and Jupiter and Saturn, Venus, and all that. So yeah, I just was wondering if there are connections to all that.
I'm sure there are. Like supposedly they say that Mother Earth is an entity, which is also AI, but it's an entity that was captured. I think it's George Cavasilas talks about that, how they even brought the moon over, they lassoed it in, brought the moon. It was full of crystals and they gutted it out, and then now it's a satellite, or it's, we all know what it is. Sending all these moon energies. There was a guy from Utah that hacked my channel in 2019, Unchained Heart and my email, Unchaining Heart. He told me that there was a dragon on the moon and that they had to feed it human or alien life forms. They had he sent me pictures of this chain. And again, this video is not for kids, okay? No kids allowed. That it was just using all the body parts, and that supposedly the moon was made out of skin. I don't know. But I've been wanting to see this movie. Have you seen it? Let me see if I can play a little bit. Marvel Studios Moon Knight official trailer, Disney. This is for Media Fair Act, educational purposes only. I don't have any affiliation with them. It's on YouTube, so we can share it. Here we go. Are you guys gonna let me? Mother effers. Play the damn thing.
Of course you froze. Of course you froze.
Going around in circles. All right, let's see.
All right.
Play. No, the Rubik's Cube. I used to play it all the time.
I can't tell the difference between my waking life and dreams.
Hello, and welcome to
Sometimes I want to do that to myself because I know I levitate from my bed.
You'll catch you on. You bloody useless. Stevie.
Stephen. I can't tell the difference between life and dreams.
That's what we see, right, Celeste?
Hope you find it.
Right. Okay.
Why did you call me?
So I have a phone. I have a black flip phone in my Astro that I have. And do you have a flip phone or anything like that? When your dreams or anything like that? Or a communication
No,
device?
I never have. It's
I
always
also
either
have a pad
like
that is clear, like a clear glass.
Mhm.
Or sometimes I use my wrist and I talk. What do you use in your dreams? And I use mirrors, like all that. What do you use?
I've never dreamt about using any kind of
Device?
communication device. I'm either with the person talking or we can just speak through our mind, like telepathy or something.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. Yeah. We always usually we have missions that are like either on your own or you're with somebody. But here we go, or a group.
Most of the time I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Well, most of the time I'm always by myself, or at least just one other person. It's either a two-man team or it's just a solo mission.
Well, I don't know if I'm frozen.
Mm.
Is it playing?
No, I just see her mouse cursor moving.
Well, let's see if it plays. I'm frozen on my screen.
Yeah, I see you're frozen.
Oh my gosh, what's going on, guys? It's just a movie. I have supposedly the best internet service, and then the guy's
Yeah, I don't
like,
see my hand. I tried waving it and I didn't see anything.
all right, well. I don't think it's gonna let me share. I'm trying to advance it. Crap. Pause. Let me pause this. Okay, now it's not letting me go back to the original screen. I don't know if we're still recording or not. Stop share, people.
I see that the little red light is like, goes in.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to stop the share. See, I've clicked it on
They just froze your.
Hello, guys. Come on. Oh, well, I don't know how to edit, but do you want to say something? It's not letting me go back to the screen. Darn it, you guys. Did they kick you off?
Let me cut you off. I know, I was asking if you were still gonna talk about the Little Mermaid. Veronica,
Are you
can you
there?
hear me?
What did you say? Can you hear me? Can anybody hear? Girls, oh, no,
No.
it's not Girls Gone Wild. It's Google Gone Wild. CI Gone Wild. Fucking asshole. Excuse my language. Can you hear
If you're gonna talk about the little, they're fucking with you, dude.
me? Okay, talk.
Okay, because every time I ask if you're gonna talk about the Little Mermaid, that's when they cut us off.
I don't know if we're still recording. I guess you can still talk and we'll find out. You
I'm
hear
gonna
me?
send you a message through WhatsApp. Yeah, I can
Alright.
still hear you.
Return to meeting.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. We are still recording.
Okay. Yeah, because every time I ask if we're gonna talk about the Little Mermaid, and then that's when they would cut us off, and I'm just like, okay, I guess they don't want you talking about anything else now. Dude, they're assholes. That's you guys. Fuck you. Up the ass, no Vaseline. Now it's a chola chismes.
Dude, we're
Shake,
gonna
shake.
do another Chola Chismes.
I know, dude. When we do that, they don't care. They let us do whatever, but
Yeah. Us and our dude. I've been
uh,
saying this since I was little, because I was,
Group Cali.
that's like the dude word. All right, so what were you gonna say? Little Mermaid, here we go.
Yeah, let's see if we can talk about it. Jeez. You know, it's crazy though, because my sister who lives in Boston, that was her favorite movie, right? And she's very dark. Like she got more the more blood. You know, she's very olive skin. And she has red, like undertones, because I came out with blonde, when we were babies, I had blondish hair and she had reddish hair. And then now it's crazy that this new Little Mermaid, she's, a dark skinned girl with red hair. And I'm just like, I wonder if that's who she is, or if that's one of her, alters or something,
It has,
or
yeah,
who she is.
it's the red hair. The red hair is to activate the sex kitten altar. So you'll probably see a lot of girls wearing red hair now. And the same thing with Carol G in the Mexican music. It's not even Mexican, it's Boricua or whatever the hell.
Oh, the reggaeton. I hate that shit.
El
I
Anuel,
can't say.
Bad Bunny, no, thank you. Like, no.
Mm,
I know this
it's
generation.
so ugly.
So the red hair has to do with if you look at that video, I'll post the link here, reference to Mecca. And I think it's like 360 or 365, I don't know, something like that, entities that came in and an asteroid and boom, right? And a lot of people want to put their important things facing east. When you do meditations or whatever, you got to face east for Mecca, MECCA. We've talked about this before. And then they have the Muslims against the other guys, and then some of them will even paint their hair with henna red because they want to be like that, want to be God. The red, also is a part of the giants. Like you, I was born with blonde hair and then it turned red. Anytime I dye it, no matter what color, it comes, it gets that, that red undertone thing in it. See?
They tell me the same thing when I try to go blonde. They're like, "Yeah, it's just because you have the red undertone in your hair." I'm like, "What? I thought I always had like blonde because my great grandmother, she was Basque. She came from the Basque region, but she was blonde hair, blue eyes. And then I really don't know anything on my dad's side. Like I'm still trying to. I need to like start visiting
I wonder
family that I've.
if that's the side that you got the more lines from your dad. Because I got the more line from my mother, her great grandmother. I wonder. Cause we're all
Yeah.
the ones that I don't want to say chosen, but this great experiment, what they did with us, they put all the fucking bloodlines together.
Mhm.
All I know I do. Because
Just to see what comes out or something. Let's just put
and
it all together and
highly
see what kind of.
yeah, because we have all the, you have the abilities too. Because we have these abilities, they all want a part of it. So they made me marry, they MK Ultra'd me to marry this man that has reptilian blood, and they wanted to keep their bloodline. I have one son and one daughter. I kept my father's name. Bartolini is my name, and I will not shorten it. I will not change it. That is me. If you want to look me up, it's Veronica Bartolini. I don't care how long it is. If you want Elon Musk, it's 4 and 4. ELON, and it's L on. So it's God on or angel on. Musk. Musk has to do with the red heads. M. McDonald's, reincarnation. They say he has a wife that's an alien. Anyway, I'm off subject, but this whole thing with the Little Mermaid is another experiment that they're doing with the baby Jabberwockies, bringing in the new. I don't want to say new super soldiers because everybody on Earth, I am sure, has been used in these programs. We're all fucking super soldiers. If you want to be a part of a clica, that's on your own. I'm not a part of anything, you know. So everybody's infected with this like the word of I want to be a super soldier. How do I know if I'm, just write down your dreams. We could do readings for you. We could do whatever, to help you interpret the dreams or help you. I've gone off tangent. We were trying to watch that movie trailer with the moon guy.
But they won't.
So watch it on your
no.
Get back to us.
I mean, pretty much. Right. Like, yeah, just be careful. Just be careful what you're watching. 'Cause I understand people want to get some knowledge and get the, do research and stuff. But you also have to be careful because even through that, they can still manipulate you or just program you through that. So you just have to be really, really careful on what you're researching because you just never know. They may end up indoctrinating you, and then now it's just like, fuck. So just be very, very careful. Very careful.
Yeah. So now that you're not on social media, can they still get a hold of you if they want to talk to you on your email? Because anybody can get a hold of me through email. They don't have to go through my social media because I'm not there right now. I mean, once in a while I'll share something, but I just, yeah.
Yeah, I just have my email now. That's all. Just celestechaparro@gmail.com. All lowercase. I don't know if they can see it on here or whatever, but
I'll put
it
it
should be right there. Okay.
CelesteChaparro@gmail.com. This one doesn't have your last name of Chaparro. It has the Celeste Plantagenet. So are you gonna do the 23andMe or whatever they call it, the DNA stuff to find all that stuff, royalty bloodline stuff?
I want to do the one where you do with your because since my brother is the last of my dad's line, so I wanted to do that one where he and I do it. Right now he just has to get out of his little funk, whatever he's going through, letting the Draco and Grays, fuck with him. Because I know the Grays fuck with him because he told me when it was during sleep paralysis, and he said he saw a Gray in his room, and he was just on his bed, and he can, like, they were telepathically talking, and he's was like, I'm gonna fuck with you right now. And he said it started like bouncing on him, like sitting on him, but he was just bouncing on him like and my brother's just grossed out to get away. But of course, when you're in sleep paralysis, you're stuck. And so he was just like trying to get away from it, but he couldn't. So I know the Greys are attached to him, but he watches a lot of satanic shows and a lot of porn.
Yeah.
Corn. I don't know if I
Try
can
to
say
get
word,
away
but
from
he
that
watches
popcorn stuff.
that burnt popcorn.
Yeah,
But yeah, he watches just a lot of just shit, Yeah, just stuff he shouldn't be watching. Just even shows like, Family Guy, American Dad. He watches the new Sabrina show, the one that's really satanic. Not the funny one, where it was like lighthearted or whatever. But he watches that one, that show Supernatural with the two brothers. He, he just watches those shows on loop, and then he just listens to a lot of shit music, just trash music. Especially when he's pissed off at us, he'll play that. What is it? That them hoes, they're for everybody. Them hoes, they're for everybody. It's just like, dude, really? I'm like, and then you wonder why you're still at mom's house, why you can't get a real girlfriend, why you're so awkward, why you're pissed off. And it's just like he's a bully to his sisters, and it's just like, dude, what you're giving out is what you're getting back. So you can't be mad at anyone but yourself. But
Yeah, and you know
it's
what?
everyone's fault but his own.
So if somebody sends black magic, it's always returned to them threefold. So remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that. So
Yeah.
those.
Oh yeah, like I said, what goes around comes around and 3 times worse.
Yeah, they're
I
getting
always say that.
back as
Yeah,
we speak.
it's
As
just
I
like,
speak, they're getting threefold back of their black magic that they sent to me. Threefold back to them and more.
Yeah, because when you send a curse, you're just cursing yourself, and it comes back stronger. And it's
3
just
times.
like, dude, it's like, don't send curses, just send them love, light, and just that they find the peace and the stability that they're looking for, because that's what's missing. They don't have peace and stability right now, and they're just so they got to just take it out on others. And it's just like, dude, you're not mad at me, you're mad at whatever you're mad at, and it's not me. I'm not the problem. You're making it a problem.
Yeah. And we are mirrors. So whatever you see in another person, you're amplifying, magnifying what they're seeing in you, what they see in them, magnified 3 times or more. So if you guys have sleep paralysis or something, try and memorize that thing that I've shared before. It's on my website too. It's the one, the cutting of the ties, vows, oaths, blood oaths. It's called a revocation. Try and remember that. So if you do get sleep paralysis, you can say that telepathically in your mind. And if you can't remember that, just say no really loud. No, I wake up myself. It's like, no.
Dude, even though because I was like,
just use yours.
Yeah, I just remembered what because talking bloodlines and stuff. And even though like I'll wake up from like a dream where they're trying to have a child with me, because I know I have 2 sons. I know for sure I have 2 sons. And even though I'll be like, I cut all the ties, all the blood ties and all that stuff, they're still trying to be dudes to like try to make children with. And I'm just like, they're pissed, dude. And I'm like, all right, I'm divorcing this one now. I'm rebuking this one now, and then they'll send another one where, we're having sex or something, and then I wake up.
Just keep saying the revocation, keep breaking ties. That's all we can do. Like I said, when I'm flipping from one side to the other side, or when I get up to go to the restroom and I wake up from a dream, or I'm seeing a vision, or I'm hearing something, right away I cut all oaths, blood oaths, any contracts, any blue or white cords, any vows, anything. As above so below, I cut that, I break that, I burn it. As above so below. If I mean, it's a long revocation that's out there, but you can make your own. But okay, Celeste, I better go for now. Love you.
Okay, love you too.
I just had to turn off my chicken.
Okay.
Celeste, you're
Okay, so yeah, so earlier before we did the show, we were trying to do the show. I was trying to do it in this room at the library. It's called the gathering room. And so every time I go in there, there's never anyone in there, and no one ever comes in. Well, today when we decided to do the show, there was already a woman in there, and something even told me, they're like, dude, what if there's, of course, because we put it out there, we're gonna do the show, and they're like, all right, we're gonna send someone in there now. So I went in there, and of course there's this older woman, an old lady in there. And I'm like, the fucking course. And so I'm like, well, maybe she'll leave soon. And so, I decided just to sit down at the table. took out my laptop, and then she, because she's sitting in the chair, so we're not looking at each other, and then she like peeks around the chair, and she's like, "Are you waiting for Sharon or Susan or whatever her attorney's name was?" I'm like, "Oh no, I'm just in here, but if you need me to leave, I can." And she goes, "No, we'll probably go to a different room." Well, there's no other rooms in that library. It's just that room where people can sit down. It's like 4 chairs. Oh no, it's like 3 chairs, like nice chairs, and then like a little sofa. And then there was the long table. It's like a long wooden table with like chairs around it. And then her attorney walks in, and so I gathered up my stuff and I left. But anyways, so of course and so I'm trying to wait for them to on. So I'm like, all right, maybe I'm not meant to be there. Dude, there actually is a mirror in there now, because I dreamt last night that we were about to do the show. I went into the room, and instead of sitting at the end of the table, which I usually do, I sat instead like in just one of the chairs. And then all of a sudden these 2 mirrors popped up. There was a big one, and then there was one behind me. And so I'm looking, and then I see like, and then because someone had told me before, never have 2 mirrors facing each other, because it's just, like it's just the energy type deal. And so as soon as I sat down and the mirror showed up, I was like, "Oh hell no, dude!" And so I tried to then move back to the end of the table where I usually sat, but there was just mirrors everywhere. And then I woke up, and so every time I checked up on these ladies, I looked in the mirror and I can see them still talking, and I was just like, okay, maybe I'm just not meant to be in this room. But every time I do go in that room, though, I do get a funny feeling in there. Like I know I'm not alone, even though I'm all by myself in that room and no one ever comes in there. But I just feel like there's something in there, and it doesn't feel like bad, but I just know there's something in that room.
It sounds like a double mirror. There's a
Mhm.
test you can do if it's a double mirror or not, but like I was saying earlier, what you can do is just put up a mirror yourself, whether you're in dream or astral, and just, you know, as opposed to below
Mhm.
all around, and
And
reflect.
like I said, I should have used my laptop. I should have used that as the mirror, so but I didn't think about that. I just was the thing. I was like, I got to get away from these mirrors. I don't want them taking whatever from me, or I don't want to see something. Because, you were talking about the man in the mirror. And I'm
Yes.
like, I don't want to see no man in the mirror.
Yeah,
And so that's why I got up right away, and I just decided to sit at the end of the table instead of sitting just like right there next to the end of the table chair.
yeah. The man in the mirror, or men in the mirror, women, they like to take your energy. So I was like in half awake, half asleep, and I saw, I was like a teenager, and my mom at the time was married to this other guy. His name is Jesus. And he was there at the table with my mom and my middle sister, and I'm like, oh hell no, he was trying to be mean to my mom. He would always beat her up, and I had to call the cops. And then my mom finally left him after we went to hiding. We had to go to Baja California. Finally, oh gosh. Anyway, so in this dream form, I said, "Vas a verlo." Vas a verlo. You're gonna see what's gonna happen to you if you try something on my family or my mom. And so I go into another room, and there's this gigantic mirror, like rectangle, huge mirror in front of me. And I conjured up like all this energy to put it, to protect my family, and to say, you know, don't fuck with my family, and don't fuck with me and my children. You know what I'm saying? So I picked it up, and I sent that energy, and I leave. When I'm walking, I look back, and I see a man in the mirror hooded walking the other way, opposite direction. I'm like, mother effer. So I wake up, and I'm like, oh, that's that man in the mirror Michael Jackson talks about. But then, of course, regular people will be like, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, right? Which is looking at yourself. But in reality, there's a man in the mirror. They're looking. And I know it may sound crazy, but when you have had astral travel or a vision, if you need to use a restroom, before you write it in your book, do not look at the mirror. Do not look at the phone, because they can see everything you have seen. They like to erase our memories. And like we were talking about earlier with the moon, they take souls to the moon after you leave here or if you die here, to reincarnate you and bring you back, erase your memories and bring you back. So that's why we're talking, Celeste and I, because there are secrets there that there shouldn't be secrets anymore. So you can protect yourselves. Right, Celeste?
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. And then I had another, remember that other mirror game that I had where I think it was either me or some other. All I can remember is that wearing light blue. 'Cause I used to wear light blue a lot as a kid before I even knew that my name in Spanish even translated to like sky blue or light blue. And I was looking in a mirror, or and when they walked away from it, the image was stuck there. And so it was, and then it started talking, and then I don't know if it was me or someone else went like, dude, you're still in the mirror. And then they just went back and they said something like, get out of here, or you're not allowed here, or something. So yeah, that was at least a woman in the mirror, because like I said, it could either be men or women. But yeah, so I guess whatever's watching me is a woman.
They,
My hair got stuck.
different people, yes, they have different people assigned to us. Okay. They can have up to 6 people, depending on how many
Ugh.
personalities we have, or depending on, you know, what kind of program they want to do. Like right now, Project Artichoke is full blast right now with me. They're like telling me I have to isolate myself because sometimes I just don't want to be around people because of the energy. Or, you know, but then again, I discovered that social media is the V word. It's that the tentacles coming at you and trying to wrap you and, you know, suffocate you.
Just suck it all out.
And turn you into someone else, and then create hive minds. And have you noticed that especially people that are with the Trump and Biden thing, if you say something, they attack you right away. Oh, you're wrong. Or with anything, some kind of meme that you're like sharing because you think it's funny. Oh, you're wrong. Oh, you're wrong. Or prove it to me. Where's your evidence? Did you really say that? And I'm like, I'm so done with, you know, trying to be a competition. I'm not.
That's because they personalize it. Because they attach their whole like identity to that. So it's like a personal attack, and it's like, this is why social media is trash and it's poison, and that's why I got rid of it. That shit too. I'm like, all right, I'm done. Like, I'm not even a productive person, and I'm always neurotic about something, or I feel like I have to be like this or like that, and I'm just like, I'm done, dude. I'm just trying to take this thing out of my hair. It got stuck. But
So
yeah.
In the library, just protect yourself with, you can do an invisible cloak, or you can do a black one. Or you can actually wear a mirror necklace, like a disco ball, reflect the back.
Oh yeah, the disco ball.
Okay. I wear the shungai, and then I have jade. That to me is my talisman, but you can make your own. You can put your own spells for protection. And don't let nobody touch it, because that's yours, and it's your DNA. So.
And plus, like, don't be touching me. Like, don't fucking touch me.
Yeah.
I don't want you to transfer your energy onto me.
Right. There's, I have 2 mirrors that I deflect on my windows, and it's funny because this here at San Mat, we'll just say San Mat. It's my windows. All of our windows on this side are facing south. All of the windows on the building, the other buildings are, you know, they're facing south. And I'm like, I don't want to face south no more. When people come, I do the camera, you know, but I have the 2 mirrors that go back. Whatever energy they're trying to transmit to me, this goes back to them. I don't have any other windows behind me here. I will use mirrors if I have to amplify energy. For example, the Feng Shui thing. If, for example, you walk into a house and it's divided, where you can only see with one eye, it's like, oh my gosh, I see a wall here, and the other eye, I see like a plant, you know. So, but as soon as you walk in, you want the vision to go one way, you can paint your wall red, right? Or you can put a mirror that shows and amplifies the real plants to magnify that. You don't want to use fake plants in your house. And I can't believe I used to do home interior and gifts, and I used to make these beautiful plant arrangements, and It's like, wow, we need real plants. I got a bunch outside, but anyway,
Mhm.
thank you for being on.
For sure. Crazy that all the days now there was people in that room when there's never anyone in there, no matter what. Like I was just like, well, I wasn't meant to be in this room. Either they were protecting me from something, or or the a-holes just
Maybe they wanted you to,
delay the show.
yeah, maybe they wanted, yeah, because we were supposed to be on at 1 o'clock. It's 4:25
One.
now. So, um,
Mhm.
and then you saw, all the stupid crap on the computer. I don't know how to edit, guys, and
Mhm.
I don't have time right now to learn. So this is gonna be out raw,
Mhm.
like always. And
Mhm.
you guys have my email. You guys have Celeste's email. So we'll do another video, Celeste. We'll have something new to talk about. Okay,
Yeah, for sure.
Tammy, I love you. Hang in there.
I love you too.
I love you
Bye,
too.
everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for being here.